Hey y'all, Rusty at Mossy Oak, and today I've got the Remington 870 pump 12 gauge shotgun, and I'm gonna show you the steps it takes to disassemble it and then reassemble it. To do the job, there are a few tools that you're gonna need. A little small hammer, a little small punch of some type, and a pair of pliers. I've got a couple options here. I've got needle noses, and I've got a little small set of channel lock pliers here. And one more thing before we get started. Anytime you're handling a firearm, we're gonna always check and make sure it's unloaded to be safe. So let's just open it up and look. Got nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag, so we've got an empty shotgun. So let's get started. First, let's remove the magazine cap. Just simply screw it off of the end of the mag tube, just like this. Next, let's remove the barrel. To do that, you wanna press the slide stop lever, pull the pump or the fore end back about halfway like that. Then just grab your barrel and slide straight off out of the receiver and off the end of the mag tube, just like so. Next, let's remove the bolt and bolt carrier. To do that, let's slide the pump or the fore end forward just like that, and then press the lifting arm in like so. And inside of here, on each side of the receiver, you're gonna have two shell tabs, and you're gonna have to depress each one of them to get the bolt and bolt carrier assembly out. You just kinda gotta work with it till you get them going. Fill it with your finger. There's a little tab inside of there. Generally, if you do one, usually on this side of the gun, press it in, then come over and press the back side. It's two little shell tabs in there, and depress them, and then it'll allow this whole bolt assembly to slide right off of the mag tube like that. So now the bolt just sits right there on top of these bars, and you can take that and set it aside, as well as the little carrier as well. Okay, the next step is to simply remove the trigger assembly. To do this, you got to remove the pins right here that go through the receiver and hold the trigger assembly in. You can access these pins from either side of the shotgun. And I'm gonna slide the barrel over here and just lay the gun on top of that right there. That gives me a little daylight underneath here between the receiver and the table. So when I pop the pins out, they've got somewhere to go. All right, so let's take a little punch. Sometimes you can press it with just with your hand, but that seems to be pretty tough, so I'm gonna use the hammer. Press that down. Just like that. And if you got enough, long enough punch, you know, that pulls the pins all the way out and they hit the table, that's fine. If not, you may have to pull them out the rest of the way with your fingers or your pliers. So that one came out with my fingers. This one seems to be a little bit tougher. We'll grab these little pliers here. Little mini pair of channel lock plier. There we go. I pulled that pin out, and you'll see there's two different size pins. I had them in my hand a while ago, but there's the skinnier pin, and then this one's a little bit bigger pin. The bigger pin goes to the rear of the assembly. Smaller pin goes to the front. So that should free up our trigger assembly. Not a lot of force or pressure needed, just pull it right out. I generally, when I'm taking apart shotguns, I'll pull the trigger assemblies out from the rear like that, and that seemed to work real well for that one as well. All right, so this gun is getting close to being done. The receiver's completely stripped and open. Everything's laid out here. Now we could go a step further. We can remove this little magazine tube cap here and pull out the spring. What you do is you reach in there with your finger, kind of with the tip of your finger, your fingernail, or you can use a little flathead screwdriver, or even stick, you know, your punch or whatever down in there, and you just twist out this little cap right here. Okay, that's just removing the little magazine tube spring there, and then the little followers in here. You might have to kind of help it out, but this one came out pretty easy. It's a little follower, and that's it. That's a completely disassembled Remington 870 12 gauge pump shotgun. So now let's just follow the steps in reverse and put it back together. All right, first let's get the follower put back in the mag tube. Again, just line up, you got the little grooves inside of the mag tube and the little slots right there on the follower. Just line that up. Just let that fall all the way in there. Put the mag tube spring back in, and then this little mag tube spring stopper. Same deal on this little stopper. It's got the little grooves. Line it up right there with the end of the mag tube. There you go. And then you can use your fingers to twist where it comes off of that little, those little slots right there, and it'll hold itself in there to keep, you know, the spring from shooting out. All right, next let's put the trigger assembly back in. Kind of slide it back in. You might have to press this little bar right here on the trigger assembly, just kind of press it in, and that frees it up to kind of just fit perfect in there. Kind of pops in. Make sure it's slid all the way back right here. And then you can see the daylight right there in those holes where the pins go. I'm gonna set it back down right here using that barrel. I mentioned earlier the 2 different size pins. We'll put the smaller pin toward the front, the bigger pin towards the back. Kind of get it started. Let's take our little hammer and tap them in. Just like that. All right, easy enough. Trigger assembly is put back in place. Okay, next let's position the bolt and bolt carrier on the action bars properly. The action bars are connected right here to the pump or the fore end. We'll get the bolt and bolt carrier set where it needs to go right here on the action bars, and then we'll slide that back into the receiver of the shotgun. We'll take the bolt carrier, position it right here on the action bars just like it goes. You can see the slots and stuff that are cut out right here. It's only one way it can go and fit snug and flush. Then we're going to take the bolt. It's only one way that it lays on here as well. Just like that. Slides down in there. So you'd be looking at the shotgun this way right here like that, and that's how it's going to slide back in. So just double check that you've got that bolt setting on that carrier just right on top of those action bars. Now we're ready to slide the bolt and carrier assembly back into the receiver. So we got the shotgun right here. We're going to slide the mag tube right here through the middle of the fore end right here, or the slide. And just kind of watch what you're doing, and it kind of starts to get, the bolt starts to get into the front of the receiver here. And from there, you're going to have to depress this lifter arm under here like we did before. And again, we've got 2 shell stop tabs on the inside of this receiver. You're going to reach in, once you've got the lifter arm pressed in, you're going to reach in with your index finger or whatever finger works for you, and press this side of the shotgun shell stop tab first. All right, then press a little bit right there. It goes in maybe 1/4 of an inch, if that far, the whole assembly. Then you're going to reach back over here on the back side of the gun and press that tab in. Might have to finagle a little bit. And there's a shell tab on the back side. Press it, and it's good to go. Right back in place. So that's a key point to remember. Shell tab on this side of the shotgun to press first. Pull it in just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch. Then reach on the back side of the shotgun, press that shell tab in, kind of hold, finagle, wiggle, and it pops right back into place, and you're good to go right there. Next, let's put the barrel back in place. To do that, just simply press the slide stop lever, open the action about halfway, just slide the pump or the fore end back like that about halfway. Take the barrel and then position the end of the mag tube right there in that little place right there where it goes. At the same time, you're sliding the barrel right back into the receiver where it goes. There's a nice snug fit. There's no extra daylight or anything right there. That seems to be exactly where that goes. Last, take the barrel nut or magazine cap, snug it back down on the end of the mag tube. Just double check function. Functioning good. That's how you disassemble and reassemble the Remington Model 870 pump 12 gauge shotgun. Good to be able to know how to do this, guys. Emergency field stripping situation while you're out hunting, or just for your general maintenance for cleaning throughout the course of the season. Hope this tip helps y'all out.